West, our top story here. It is truly all eyes on Norfolk Superior Court as jury deliberations in the Karen Read murder trial continue. You can see right here, once again, a large crowd is there in Dedham as the Commonwealth continues to wait for a verdict. Thanks for joining us this morning at 11, everyone. I'm Colton Bradford. Now, when that verdict comes in, we are going to bring it to you live here on NBC Boston, so stay with us. This morning, we have live team coverage for you in Dedham. We're going to get to NBC 10's Alicia Palumbo. Alicia, good morning. We'll get to you in just a moment. Let's begin with our Manoj Kwangwari and some of the early fireworks, actually, that we have already seen in the courtroom. If you missed this, not too long ago, just a few moments ago, Read's attorney, Alan Jackson, asked the judge for a clarification. This was about a request that he'd made regarding the verdict slip. He wanted the slips to include a not guilty checkbox option on some of the lesser charges here, rather than having jurors simply check guilty. When that request was denied, there was a tense exchange between Jackson, Read, and Judge Cannone.
Okay, I disagree with you. All right, excuse me. This is funny, Ms. Read. All right, we're done.
All right, everyone, with that, let's go live out to our Manoj Kwangwari to start us off this morning. Manoj, it has already been a busy morning inside that courtroom.
Well, it definitely has when you take that into account. Karen Read immediately left the courtroom after that incident. She and her representation declined to answer any of our questions. But even before that, a juror asked the judge that deliberations be cut down to just 4 p.m. She wanted to end there for personal reasons. This, of course, all coming after what was a very eventful yesterday.
Ladies and gentlemen, there was a cover-up in this case, plain and simple.
There is no conspiracy. There is no cover-up. There is no evidence of any of that.
After those powerful words from the defense and the prosecution,
you may now retire and deliberate your verdict.
The jury was sent off to decide the fate of Karen Read, deliberating only 2 hours for the first day, but the defense this morning feeling confident.
The whole day was great. It was great. Thanks for asking.
Read is accused of backing into John O'Keefe with her SUV while dropping him off at a Canton home and leaving him to die in the snow. It's the very reason why she now faces second-degree murder, manslaughter while operating a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol, and leaving the scene of a crash resulting in death.
I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. Those are the words of the defendant.
You have been lied to in this courtroom. And your job is to make sure you don't ever, ever look the other way.
Powerful testimony there. Now, we know that deliberations are set to last until 4 p.m. today, but we have several crews here that will be updating you when the time comes. As for right now, we're live here in Dedham. Manoj Kwangwari, NBC 10 Boston.
All right, Manoj, thanks for starting us off this morning. Now, let's break down this trial here by number for you. It lasted roughly 2 months. Jurors were in court for a total of 29 days of testimony, and a total of 74 witnesses took the stand. Obviously, the majority of those were for the prosecution for the Commonwealth here. So at the end of this long road that we have been down now, the big question on everyone's mind is, when are we going to see that verdict? NBC 10's Alicia Palumbo continuing our team coverage live for us outside the courthouse there. Alicia, a lot of people on both sides here are standing by for this verdict. What can you tell us about a potential timeline?
Yeah, they're definitely waiting and watching for that verdict, but you can actually see the crowds of Karen Read supporters out here. They have been waiting and watching for this verdict. They are more spread out as we wait for it, but they haven't left. They even cheered Read as she abruptly left court this morning. A sea of pink surrounds the streets leading to Norfolk Superior Court as the jury in the Karen Read murder trial is in its second day of deliberations. These Read supporters, who've grown in numbers over the past 9 weeks, say they feel a verdict will be coming soon.
There is no doubt in my mind that this jury is going to bring back a not guilty verdict and exonerate Karen Read.
Everyone's here for justice. We want answers.
NBC 10 Boston legal analyst Michael Coyne says while he expects a relatively quick verdict, he thinks the jury will be mindful to weigh all the evidence before reaching a decision, especially knowing the intense amount of interest in this high-profile case. But he thinks the jury will be hard-pressed to side with the government.
That reasonable doubt standard is an incredibly high standard for good reason. And I just think that the jurors are going to have problems getting past some of the various open questions that still exist.
Many outside the courthouse think even when this trial is wrapped up, there will continue to be questions, and they say their advocacy for Reed and against the prosecution will not end on the sidewalks surrounding the courthouse here in Dedham.
Norfolk County DA's office works for us, and that's why they're here. We're letting them know that they work for us. We are not in servitude to them, and they cannot strip us of our rights like they're trying to do to Karen Reed.
Now, this group of supporters said they'll continue to show up here outside the Norfolk Superior Courthouse as long as it takes for this jury to reach a verdict. We're live in Dedham. Alicia Palumbo, NBC 10 Boston.
Alicia, thanks for your reporting for us this morning. Now, listen, with all of this, members of the Canton Police are playing a big role in this trial. We now know the current Canton Police Chief will stay on the job. This is despite a lot of calls, several calls to remove her in light of the trial. Chief Helena Rafferty was not in charge of the department at the time of Officer O'Keefe's death, but a vocal group of Canton community members, they say that the Reed investigation was botched from beginning to end here. They were pushing for the town select board to not renew Rafferty's contract.
This past 2 years has been crazy, and I do think we need someone new and outside to bring this town back.
So the town voted here, the board voted 3-1 to renew the chief's contract for 1 year instead of 3. We actually reached out to Rafferty for a comment. We have not yet heard back. So the question for the jury here, is there enough of a burden of proof to convict, or is there some reasonable doubt? The verdict watch, it continues here on NBC Boston. Remember, we have you covered every single weeknight on Canton Confidential, the Karen Reed murder trial, and that is again tonight, 7 o'clock, right here on NBC Boston. But if you are away from your screen, you can also listen to our new Canton Confidential podcast.